Stop thrusting. The grinding trick that makes her finish first. Men's sexual health. There's a brutal truth that few men dare to admit. You're trying your absolute best in bed, but deep down, you're still afraid she's just faking it to get it over with. You feel it's unfair and lonely that all the pressure to satisfy seems to fall on your shoulders, while movies and society only teach you one way: just thrust hard and fast. What's the result? You're exhausted, while she might still be counting the seconds waiting for it to end. But listen, this isn't your fault. No one taught us about the actual mechanics of a woman's body. The truth is, relying solely on force is not only ineffective, but also makes you lose real connection. You don't need to try to be a machine. You just need the right strategy to turn lovemaking from a pressured performance into enjoyment for both. Today, I'll reveal to you a secret weapon that most men completely overlook. It's not your typical penetration technique. This is the key to awakening the most sensitive spots, where she can't fake it, while simultaneously helping you reduce excess arousal to last longer and master the game. Part 1. The fatal speed mistake. Listen, brother. There's a classic mistake that almost all of us make at least once in our lives. It's the speed mindset. Have you noticed in the movies we watch? Two characters rush at each other, and from the very first second of penetration, the guy uses all his strength, thrusting hard and fast continuously. We watch those images and subconsciously assume, a capable man must be like that. You have to be aggressive from the start for her to like it. But reality is much harsher. This Formula One race car approach is exactly why she feels pain instead of pleasure. And worse, it's also why you quickly lose control, ending the fun when everything has just begun. You think you're doing well, but you're actually ruining the experience for both of you. Why does this happen? Let's talk about biology for a bit, but in the simplest way possible. A woman's body isn't like a light switch that instantly turns on. It's more like an oven that needs time to heat up. When starting lovemaking, her body needs a certain amount of time for blood to flow to the sensitive area. Only when enough blood arrives do the muscles begin to relax, natural lubrication appears, and most importantly, the entrance truly expands to create space to receive you. If you skip this phase and rush in like a storm when she's not ready, the entrance is still narrow and dry. What's the result? First, for her, it's rough friction, causing pain and burning. She might silently endure it because she doesn't want to kill your mood, but in her head, she's counting every second, hoping it will be over. Second, and this is crucial for you, when the entrance hasn't expanded, the friction is extremely high. Excessive tightness combined with high friction right from the start will cause your little guy to be overstimulated. You'll find yourself reaching the point of no return after just a few minutes, even seconds. You lose control, you're disappointed in yourself, and lovemaking ends in frustration. You see, being fast and hard from the start is a lose-lose strategy for both people. So what's the solution here? Very simple, but requires patience. Start slow. This isn't timidity or weakness, but a strategy of knowledgeable men. For her, when you start with slow, shallow, and gentle rhythms, you're buying time for her body to adapt. Blood will flow in, tissues will swell, and the entrance will automatically expand and embrace you smoothly. At this point, penetration is no longer pain, but a pleasant feeling of fullness. For you, this is the king benefit. This technique is the savior for those worried about duration. When you go slow from the start, you're giving your little guy time to get used to the temperature and moisture inside without being shocked by intense friction. It helps you keep your heart rate stable, control your breathing, and most importantly, keep your arousal level at a safe level, level 5 or 6, instead of shooting up to level 9 immediately. This way, you master the game. You take your time, wait for both to be ready, then accelerate when you want. Remember, being slow for the first 5 minutes is the key to running a marathon for the next 20 minutes. Don't let movies fool you. Start like a gentleman, and you'll finish like a king. Part 2. The art of teasing and mastering tempo. Have you ever felt like you're working very hard, maintaining a steady rhythm like a clock, sweating profusely, but her response is fading? The problem is, we men tend to become machines. When we find a position or pace we think is good, our brain switches to autopilot mode. We maintain that speed, that thrust force, and just keep repeating it continuously. We think consistency is the key, but in reality, it's the enemy of pleasure. Why is consistency so dangerous? Look at the mechanism of the nervous system. Human nerves are very smart, but they also get bored quickly. If you stimulate a point with the same intensity and speed for a long time, the nerves will adapt and become numb. The initial arousal will plummet uncontrollably. She no longer feels the stimulation, and lovemaking becomes boring and monotonous. But the greater pain lies with you. When you only know how to mechanically thrust like a robot, you're turning yourself into a tool. You lose your position as the leading man. You don't create desire, don't make her wait or beg. You're just mechanically going through the motions, and trust me, women clearly feel that lack of connection. It's time for you to regain control and become the true driver in this game. The solution lies in two techniques: teasing and tempo, changing rhythm. 1. Teasing technique, creating desire. This is an extremely powerful psychological move based on the principle of contrast. Remember this well. We only truly crave what we're deprived of. Here's how to do it. When you're in a powerful rhythm and see her enjoying it to the fullest, just stop. Or suddenly slow down to the slowest, shallowest pace. Don't be afraid of disappointing her. On the contrary, this action is like yanking a delicious piece of cake right from the mouth of someone who's hungry. She'll feel the deprivation immediately. She'll start writhing, even moaning or pulling you closer. That's when you display your seductive dominance. You're the one who decides when she gets pleasure, when she has to wait. And when you return to a powerful pace, her pleasure will explode 2-3 times more than normal. 2. Tempo technique, varying rhythm, don't be a robot. Never maintain one speed for more than 2 minutes. Be a talented conductor. Sometimes slow and deep when you're both looking into each other's eyes. Sometimes speed up, powerfully decisive when switching to another position. Fast, slow, shallow, deep. This unpredictable variation keeps her nervous system always alert and receiving new stimulation. Important warning for the driver. However, there's one moment you absolutely must not use the teasing trick. That's when she's in the final stretch, about to climax. If you stop now, you'll get anger instead of desire. Use your power in the early and middle stages of lovemaking to build desire, but when you've reached the destination, help her cross the finish line completely. Remember, you're not a machine. You're the man who masters the game. Drive this emotional journey the way you want, and she'll become addicted to the feeling of being led by you. Part 3. The grinding secret, the technique 99% of men miss. Brother, we're getting to the most important part of today. This is the technique I'd bet 99% of men either completely overlook or do wrong. Most of us are programmed with piston thinking, meaning we think sex is simply translational movement. Pull out, push in, and out. We think the deeper you go, the harder you thrust, the more she likes it. But the harsh truth is, that simple in-out movement, even if it stimulates the G-spot, completely ignores the greatest source of women's pleasure, the clitoris. And if you miss this point, you're missing the chance to make her truly tremble. Why is that? Let's look at the body map a bit. Most men think the clitoris is just that tiny button on the outside. Wrong. That's just the tip of the iceberg. In reality, the clitoris has a much larger structure with 2 legs that extend and embrace deep inside the body. When you only penetrate with the piston style, you're just sliding back and forth without creating enough pressure on this internal structure. It's like wanting to iron a shirt but only lifting the iron up and putting it down continuously. The shirt will never be flat, and she'll never reach climax. Moreover, let's talk about you. Maintaining a continuous thrusting rhythm is extremely exhausting. It raises your heart rate and continuously stimulates the head of your little guy, causing you to quickly reach the ejaculation threshold when the fun isn't complete yet. You're exhausted, while she's still not satisfied. That's a tactical failure. The perfect alternative solution here is grinding, rubbing technique. So exactly how do you do it? Forget the piston. I want you to visualize an iron or a mortar and pestle. When you use a mortar, you don't stab the pestle straight down, right? You press it down to the bottom and rotate to grind the spices. In sex, it's the same. Stay deep. Instead of pulling out, push in as deep as possible and hold it there. Press close. Make sure your pubic bone, the hard part right above your little guy, is pressed tightly against her outer area. Grind. Now, use your hips to make circular or sideways grinding movements, creating firm and continuous pressure. This action creates pressure on the entire two-leg structure of the clitoris from the inside, maximally stimulating the nerves that regular penetration can never reach. This is the key to her reaching orgasm. But here's the best part for you, the benefit of a king. The grinding technique is your strategic rest stop. When you switch to grinding motion, you reduce direct friction on the sensitive head of your little guy. You no longer have to strain with continuous penetration. This is when you can relax your muscles, regulate your breathing, and let your own arousal cool down. You're recharging right in the middle of the match while she's receiving more intense pleasure than ever. That's a double win. Win, win. You can extend the time as long as you like while she enjoys deep stimulation. Apply this mortar and pestle mindset, and you'll see the difference immediately. Part 4. How to know if she's really climaxing. Don't let faking destroy your confidence. Let's talk straight about a fear that few men dare to speak about, but it's always lurking in their heads every time lovemaking ends. It's the question, did she really just climax, or was she just performing for my benefit? Many of us get stuck in our own thoughts during sex. Instead of enjoying it, you worry about your performance. You wonder if you're doing it right, if she's bored. And the biggest obsession is when you hear sounds that seem like pleasure, but in your heart, doubt still rises. You're afraid she's just trying to please you or wants things to end quickly. This doubt is the poison that kills men's confidence. When you get caught in that spiral of worry, you inadvertently disconnect from reality. You become numb, working like a machine going through motions. And worse, if you suspect she's faking, you'll feel all your efforts are meaningless. You feel hurt, even deceived. Over time, this feeling will turn into discouragement, making you no longer want to try to please or learn new skills. Why try when it's all just acting? This is exactly what causes the bedroom fire to gradually cool. You need the truth. You need authentic proof to know that you're a truly capable man. The final solution to becoming a bedroom master isn't a new exotic position, but paying attention. Attention here doesn't just mean looking, but observing like a detective. Don't just listen to moans because sounds can be faked. Look at the involuntary biological responses of the body, things she can't control with her mind. This is the most reliable natural lie detector. The breath. Moans can be performed, but breathing is harder. When real pleasure hits, her breathing will become rapid, short, and irregular. If she's moaning but her breathing is still steady like she's sleeping, be careful. Muscle tension. Pay attention to her toes and thighs. When orgasm approaches, muscle groups will automatically contract. Her toes will curl tightly, toe curling. Her hands will grip the sheets or your back. A completely relaxed body is rarely in a state of climax. The internal squeeze. This is the most certain sign. If you're inside, especially when using the grinding technique, you'll feel the vaginal muscles contracting in waves and gripping you tightly. That's a biological reflex that can't be faked. When you pay attention and notice these signs, your confidence will skyrocket. You know for certain you did it right. And finally, don't forget another secret weapon. Emotional connection. Women are different from us. Their pleasure is more powerfully activated when they feel safe and connected with the man. Be fully present. Look into her eyes. Listen to each breath. When she sees you're truly paying attention to her feelings and not just performing, the psychological barriers will be removed. She'll relax to receive real pleasure, and you'll never have to worry about her faking again. That's the difference between an average man and an unforgettable lover. Part 5. A personal message, you're already good enough. Before we finish, I want to pause for a moment and share something personal with you. Something I wish someone had told me, or my male patients, sooner. We're living in an era where the pressure on men's shoulders is enormous, especially in the bedroom. Social media, adult films, and exaggerated stories from friends all paint a distorted picture that men must be tireless sex machines, hard as steel and lasting for hours. And when you don't meet that unrealistic standard, you feel inadequate. You feel ashamed. You beat yourself up every time lovemaking doesn't go as expected. But I want you to know this truth. Sex is not a competency test. It's connection. The techniques I taught you today, start slow, grinding, teasing, they're wonderful tools, yes. but they'll be meaningless if you use them with the mindset of someone competing, trying to score points, or fearing failure. The woman who truly loves you. She doesn't need a porn star in bed. She needs you. She needs your presence, your warmth, and your genuine care. She'd rather have 10 minutes of complete emotional connection with a man who knows how to listen than 1 hour with an emotionless drilling machine. The fact that you're watching this video right now already proves you're in the top 1% of the best men because you care. You're trying to learn to become better for the woman you love. That's real capability. So relax your shoulders. Forgive the not so good times in the past. Don't pressure yourself to be perfect tonight. Consider these techniques as a way for you to discover pleasure with her, not a performance for you to grade yourself. You're already good enough. Remember that. We've gone through a long journey today, from decoding deeply rooted mistakes to advanced techniques like grinding and teasing. But listen, brother, there's a big problem I see in many men. It's the nodding trap. You watch this video, you think it's right, you think it's good. But then tonight, when you step into the bedroom, out of habit, you return to the same old routines. You rush again, thrust mechanically like a machine again, and end in regret again. Knowledge in your head will become useless if it's not transformed into action in bed. If you don't change today, tomorrow will be no different. Her silent endurance will still be there. The fear of, I'm not doing well enough, will still haunt you. And worst of all, the flame of connection between you two will gradually fade due to boredom and misalignment. Don't let this video be just another fleeting entertainment content. Don't let laziness or shyness rob you of the opportunity to become the amazing man you could have been. You don't need to change everything in one night, but you need to start. To help you not feel overwhelmed, here are 3 specific actions you can take right after this video ends. Action 1. Set the 5-minute warm-up. Rule tonight, I want you to set an unwavering rule for yourself. In the first 5 minutes of penetration, you absolutely cannot speed up. No matter how aroused you are, force yourself to go really slow, really shallow. Consider these 5 minutes as mandatory investment time for the oven to heat up properly. Get past the impatience of these 5 minutes, and you'll completely master the game afterward. Action 2. Change your mindset tonight. Try Mortar and Pestle. In your next intimate moment, commit to yourself. You'll try the grinding technique at least once. Remember the image of the mortar and pestle. Don't just go in and out, rotate and grind. Observe her reaction and see if this secret weapon is really as powerful as I said. Action 3. Ask an open question. Stop guessing. Tonight, ask her a simple question. Do you like me to slow down or keep this pace? Just that one question is enough for her to see you're a thoughtful and caring man. If this video helped you remove the psychological burden you've carried for so long, or helped you learn a new technique, support me by hitting the subscribe button and turning on notifications. I want to build a community of capable, knowledgeable men who know how to truly love here. And I want to see you in upcoming videos. Now, comment below and let me know. Which technique will you try first? Start slow or grinding? I'll read and respond to each of your comments.